everybody, my name's Jack and welcome to Witchy Ways. Now this is my first video on my new page, so I hope you will like it. Get liking and commenting, guys. It'd be lovely to have some feedback off you. So today we're going to have a bit of an episode on what is Wicca. Okay, so if you don't know what Wicca is, or you've just suddenly become interested in it, or you've seen some things on my page, this is going to hopefully clear things up for you. Now, just a bit of a disclaimer before we start the video today. These are only my opinions, my views, my beliefs, and that's totally okay if you don't agree with them. Okay, we're all different. We're all into different things, so just respect my views, but I appreciate that not everybody is interested or believes in this kind of stuff, so that's absolutely fine, just to kind of, let you guys know. Okay, so let's get on with the video. Okay, so what is Wicca? Okay, so Wicca, just got my paper here. Wicca is a nature-based religion. It works and respects with nature and the elements, okay? And we kind of like to work with the energies of the moon, the earth, with nature, okay? And it focuses a lot on individuality, acceptance, love, diversity, tolerance, creativity. So it's a really nice, it's a beautiful faith. And anybody can choose Wicca, no matter what age you are, gender, sexuality, identity, ethnicity, that sort of thing. So anybody can choose to have an interest in Wicca, or become a Wiccan, or identify as a Wiccan, as myself. So we really do believe that we are on the same level with nature and animals. Everything has a soul, everything has its place, and we believe that to respect that is what we should be doing. Now, there's a couple of different types of Wicca and types of Wiccans out there. Now, I'm just going to name a couple today. There's many Wiccans out there, and you can choose a path, or you don't have to. You can entirely create your own path on what you kind of feel drawn to and what you really enjoy in the religion and the faith. So, a couple of the paths, guys, let's have a look. First one we'll have a look is our Gardnerian Wiccan. Now, our Gardnerian Wiccan is based around Gerald Gardner. Now, if you don't know who Gerald Gardner is, he is like the dad of Wicca. He is the person that kind of got it around the world and kind of made people realise what this religion, faith, whatever you want to call it, was in the kind of mid-20th century. Kind of like the 60s onwards, it kind of became a big thing and was practised worldwide, obviously with the kind of free movement and that kind of love, empowerment, which was lovely. It's quite a strict path. It's more of a coven-based path. So if you choose this, it's kind of more practicing in a coven situation, and they believe in only one god and one goddess. Okay, so they only believe in the two deities, and they don't believe that there's any other deities out there. And again, this is in my opinion from what I've learned and what I've developed in my own path. So again, you may not agree with all of this information, but that's totally okay. There's lots of different ways to look at it and think about it. So that's our Gardnerian path. The next path I wanted to talk about is an eclectic Wiccan. Now, as you've guessed from the name eclectic, this type of Wiccan likes to pick and choose different deities however they see fit. So it may be in accordance to the time of the year, it may be accordance with their ritual or their spell work, so they might choose to call on different gods and goddesses to help them and watch over them during their rituals and spells. So they're more free, and they choose exactly which deity they want to respect and honour at that time, and kind of what path they want to follow. They might follow multiple paths. Now, the next Wiccan is a solitary Wiccan, which is the one I identify with. This Wiccan is seen as somebody that practices alone. They might have multiple deities, kind of gods and goddesses. They might not have any. They might choose one path to go down. They might choose many paths, or their path might alter as their spirituality grows and they become more confident in the practice and confident in their own intuition and abilities. So for me especially, I like to choose which parts of Wicca I pick out and that suit me and kind of resonate with me and my soul. So I might choose a different deity for a different religion, for a ritual rather, or I might decide that today I want to pick out a little bit of kind of hoodoo and kind of work with that. So I kind of feel like I take a bit of different kind of magical elements, so things for me that are not only just in Wicca, and they kind of fall on that separate path of hoodoo and witchcraft. So I believe in, I kind of pick and choose to suit my intent for the day and what I'm doing on that day and the kind of wheel of the year. And then the next type is called a green Wiccan. So as you've guessed, they kind of use flowers, herbs, trees, plants, roots, seeds. They kind of focus on that kitchen magic, that herbology, things like that. So they're they feel that the plants and nature connect to them. Which again, I kind of resonate with that one as well, because I love nature, being in nature, kind of making potions and different oils and that sort of thing. And there's many more paths to follow, guys. So if you do want to ask about any different paths that you found, or you're inquiring about one of them and I've said today, do comment below, let me know, or give me a private message just to ask me. I'm always here for advice, guys. That's why I'm doing this page, to kind of help new beginners to the craft, to the path, or to someone who's just interested in it and just wants to find out a little bit more. So that's absolutely fine, guys. It's your path, remember, it's your faith, that you make it what you want to, guys, okay? So a little bit on kind of how I got into Wicca myself. Everyone has a different journey and the start to their journey, and mine was quite a funny one actually. Mine began, believe it or not, in TK Maxx, as you do. I was just looking through the books, and all of a sudden this huge pentagram on this book just stood out to me. And I remember looking and thinking, I don't know what that is, but it looks a bit dangerous, because at that point I'd never come across this and I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, so I picked this book up, and it was all about Wicca and how to kind of get into it and what it's all about. And I remember feeling really quite self-conscious in the aisle that someone was looking, and I was reading something that was forbidden and it wasn't allowed to be read. And it kind of, as I flicked through the pages, I kind of just scanned. I didn't really read. It kind of clicked to me, and it made sense to me. You know, I love nature, and I've always loved nature. I've always loved spirituality. I've always felt that connection. So this kind of, for me, was that missing puzzle piece that kind of brought things together, and it just made sense. So that was kind of all it began. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go home and I'm going to research and see what it's about and make my own decision, rather than listening to what society says. Society has kind of put this dampener on Wicca, witchcraft, all that sort of thing. It's kind of become a thing that people have kind of come to see as dealing with the devil, dealing with dark forces, you know, manipulating people, you know, turning people into frogs and sacrificing things, and kind of those stereotypes like that. But actually it's not. We don't do any of that. We don't worship the devil. We don't hurt anything. We're all about loving nature, loving creatures, loving life, other humans, ourselves. It's a very peaceful faith and religion. We don't believe in any of that. And luckily society is slowly coming out of that rut and is kind of accepting that we don't follow those sorts of dark things. And remember, guys, what I said, it's what you make it. You know, I believe personally that it's all about connecting and being thankful and grateful to everything around us, and working with the cycles of the moon and crystals and herbs and oils. So it's a really relaxing nature-based religion for me. So back to my story. I decided to go home and research. Now, this is the first book I ever found, and it is Wicca, and it's by a woman called Harmony Nice. Now, Harmony Nice has been one of the biggest inspirations for me in my path. She's on YouTube, and she is a Wiccan herself, and she has been a huge influence on me. This book is great for beginners, guys. It's on Amazon, I think, when I last got this one. And it's just been the most insightful and easy book to read for me. It's packed full of information and all those questions that I had when I left TK Maxx. I really found helpful in this little book. So I would recommend, guys, if you're looking into getting into Wicca, witchcraft, that sort of thing, do have a read. It's a really, really good book. Excellent book to recommend. So Harmony Nice was the first person that I came across on YouTube, and the book, as I've just said. And she's really helped me through her videos, through her work in her book about the Wicca faith and religion, and how to work around it for me and how to make it my own. So that's kind of how I came into Wicca, and then from there it kind of just developed, and I got into collecting crystals, which if you know me, you'll know I have millions. I got into oils, essential oils, and how they can have positive effects on the body. I'm learning at the moment to become an aromatherapist, so that's kind of stemmed from that. And meditation, then I got into yoga, and it's all kind of fit into place, which has been really, really good for me. So that was kind of how I became involved and how I got into Wicca. So the next thing I want to talk about is called the Rule of Three, or the Threefold Law. Now, in Wicca, we have a kind of like a bit like the Ten Commandments, if you want to kind of visualize it like that, called the Threefold, or the Rule of Three. And it basically means that whatever energy and intention you send out to the universe, you're going to get whatever you sent out come back to you in threefold, so 3 times stronger. Okay, so if you sent out a really negative thing and something that was really ugly and hurtful to somebody else or untrue to you, you will get that back in threefold. And that can come back in energy, it could come back in a manifestation, it could be a spell or a ritual that backfires, things like that. So that's kind of what the threefold rule is about. And the main saying, which I've got in my book, I'm just going to find it for you. The main saying is, "And ye harm none, do what you will." Okay, so "and ye harm none, do what you will." So that means, you know, don't harm any. You can do anything as long as you don't hurt anybody else, as long as you don't hurt yourself, as long as you're allowing people to have free will. Yeah, you're not controlling or manipulating someone. Okay, because it's all about working with the elements to do good and to do good and nice. So that's our Rule of Three. If you want to have a look at that again, guys, do have a look online. Sorry guys, my camera decided to stop at that moment in time. Great. So that's our kind of a threefold law, and we kind of try and follow that in all our rituals, our spells. Maybe you create a spell for yourself as you get more confident and your intuition improves, and you try and follow that rule to make sure it doesn't harm anybody else, yourself. It's true to your intention, it's true to what you actually need. You're not just asking for something because you just want a bit more of it. Okay, you're asking because you actually need it. You're putting that correct intention and energy out to the universe. And if you're thinking, I have no clue what Jack is saying, this makes no sense whatsoever, do not worry. I will be going over all of these things again through other videos and in depth into more things like spell work, rituals, that sort of thing. So do not panic, do not worry. Remember, it's for a beginner, or it could be if you want to just recap the basics. And the last thing, guys, how can you guys get into Wicca? Because this is one of the things I found really hard when I first started, was knowing how to get into it. And what do? I don't want to go full into it. I just want to dip my toe in a little bit, see how I feel. So things like go in nature, guys. Get outside. Especially while we're in lockdown, guys. Do go outside for walks. Get in touch with nature. Notice things around you. Sit on the grass. You know, feel the earth beneath you. Notice nature, wildlife, animals, birds, that sort of thing. Practice meditation. That's one of the biggest things for me, and one of the most important things that I've learned is to increase and practice my meditation. I feel this has really helped me connect with the energies and to learn about me. I know it sounds cringy and cheesy, but I've learned so much about myself with involving myself in Wicca. It's been a very comforting thing for me, a very relaxing thing. It's been a certain steady thing for me, especially in the time we're in with lockdown and COVID-19. So definitely practice meditation. There's lots of videos on YouTube. And there's lots of apps out there like Headspace and Calm, which obviously are not, they're not sponsoring me. I just wanted to put them out there. There's a couple of lovely crystal shops in Chester, guys. If you're from around the Cheshire area, go to them, see if any crystals talk to you, if they kind of pull you in and you feel drawn to that crystal. There's lots of books out there. Do be careful with some books, because some of them might not be as accurate as others. But I mean, for beginners, guys, I'd definitely suggest that this one, Wicca, Harmony Nice's book, because I feel she, with her being a very, she's kind of the new generation. She's very down to earth. She puts in a modern concept, and I really like that. And it's not too complicated. So bookshops. And again, research online, guys. YouTube was my best friend for Wicca. I found so many witches and Wiccans that have helped me out with different things on there, different spells and rituals, which we'll come on to later. So they've been really, really helpful. They've really helped me. And Facebook as well. Shout out to the Grey Witches Apothecary. They were my first ever purchase of oil, and I was their first ever customer, so I feel I have a really good connection and bond with those guys. So shout out to the Grey Witches Apothecary. You can find them, guys, on here, on Insta, or you can find them on Facebook. They're great, absolutely amazing, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous women, and I love them all dearly. So do have a look at their products and what they kind of sell. And and what they're about, guys, because they are bloody awesome. Yes, so there's loads of different kind of things out there. Now, one thing I would say to start with, definitely, if you're interested or you kind of research and you think, yeah, this is for me, I love this, do look at grounding yourself, guys. So grounding means that you're connected to the earth, and this could be a meditation, so that you feel your body is calm, grounded, you feel safe, protected, because that's really going to come in handy, guys, when you do start to do ritual work, spell work, as that just keeps you safe and grounded and just stops any kind of negative energy kind of niggling away at you or trying to interrupt your workings. So that's amazing. So there's loads of videos on YouTube to get you started. So definitely meditation, be in nature, crystal shops, bookshops, online, YouTube. Again, look on kind of Insta for different witches and Wiccan, things like that. And also another thing you could start to look at, guys, I will be doing a whole set of videos, a kind of playlist on this, on the Wheel of the Year. Now, the Wheel of the Year is different holidays, different Sabbats in the Wiccan year that we like to celebrate. And the next one's coming up at the end, nearer to the end of June, Litha, which is all about celebrating the sun and the earth at its fullest and its greenest. It's really beautiful. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So do have a little research on that. So hopefully, guys, that's kind of giving you an opening, a little introduction, a little snippet into Wicca, what is Wicca, and what is the Wiccan faith. So if you do have any questions, or you want to leave a comment or let me know if you might already be in, you might already have your faith, and you might have your path started already. Do leave comments, do let me know, give me your feedback. I'd be really much appreciated. Obviously this is my first video on witchy ways, so if you want another video, guys, do let me know, and let me know what you kind of want it about. I really want to help you guys, okay? You're the kind of driving force behind this as well as me wanting to make amazing videos. Okay, so hopefully that's answered all your questions, and I'll see you guys soon. So sending love and light. Namaste, and I shall see you all soon. Bye, guys.